Hey guys, how's it going and thanks for coming. I'm Nick and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money because you know schools aren't. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, so let's get started. So in this video guys, we're going over how to get a job in 2019. So if you're about to graduate, you want to start using your degree. If you're simply unemployed, if you want to move on, like move up the corporate ladder into maybe some other business, or if you don't want to use your degree whatsoever and move into a different field, these could all be reasons to getting a job. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in this one guys, so that's why I'm leaving timestamps in the description so you could skip around and, you know, look for what you want to know. We're going from like looking for jobs to resumes to interviews, kind of overall of all of them, not too much detail but enough to get you going. Now real quick, my experience with this, I have done research over the past like years now to figure out like what's the best way to do this. I did go to, when I was in college, to their career center, so they helped me restructure resume and cover letter and stuff like that, what to like focus on. So I helped myself, friends and family to get this. So I've been there a couple times. So let's get right into it with number one guys, is to not look for jobs in the beginning. You should look for fields or industries that you're interested in. I'm saying this because this starts narrowing down the process. You have to figure out, where do you want to look? Do you want to look over here in business? You want to look in psychology? You want to look in culinary arts? Wherever, but you need to have an idea. You just can't start looking for jobs. Now, obviously, if you have a degree, I would suggest looking in that field because obviously you have at least the education behind it, the experience. You might not have it, you might have it depending if you have like internships, previous job experience, but that's definitely a good spot to aim for, in the beginning at least. Now I'm leaving a couple of links in the description to kind of get you more focused in certain areas. These are some websites that you could look through specific industries and fields, and they actually narrow down a couple of jobs, like job titles that you might be interested in. It gives you more information about it, some salary ranges, a description of it, and how to become them. Now real quick, I'm actually thinking of doing videos of like specific jobs in specific degrees, like popular degrees. Of course I'm gonna have to do some serious research into this, but if you guys are interested in maybe like if you have a business degree or whatever type of degree, I'm focusing on business because I'm business. But if you're interested in that, you could give this video a thumbs up to let me know that it would be interesting to do that. So maybe to get like the top jobs in a certain field. Alright, so now that you have more of an idea of where you want to look, you have like an industry or a field, now it's start to focus a little bit more. But number two is to not machine gun your resume out to every employer possible. Now, I thought this was the best strategy to begin with when I first started this as well. Like, I was figuring the more resumes you put out there, the higher the probability is that you get a call from someone to set up an interview, right? Well, if you're half-assing your resume of just like a generalized resume for everyone, people see that. They see that it's generalized and it's not really structured to their job. So it might be a little backwards to think this way, but it would be more beneficial to you if you actually completely focus on a few rather than all the jobs out there. When you do this, like we kind of mentioned before, you are focusing your energy and attention toward that job. You structure your resume, we're getting into this, don't worry, but you're structuring your resume to that specific job so the employer could link your previous experiences and education to what they have available. So once we're not just sending our resumes out to everyone, moving on to the third step would be to actually look for those specific jobs. Now the best places to look for these jobs would be, of course, probably like the biggest one out there is Indeed. There's Glassdoor. You could look on LinkedIn. You could find if you have like an idea of a specific company, you could go straight to their website, or if you want to just type it in Google, see what pops up. Now, real quick, I just want to mention this. I wouldn't suggest, now this might it depends on the industry, it depends on the person, but I wouldn't recommend like going for a headhunter. Meaning that you like give your resume to, let's say like Indeed, and they kind of scan through all the jobs and they just bombard you with all the jobs that are relatable to your resume. It might be beneficial, but again, you're not tailoring your resume to those specific jobs, and they might send you a bunch of garbage that you don't care about. That's what happened to me. That's why I'm mentioning this. I would suggest hand-picking jobs. Now, while you are looking for these jobs, like you're looking at the application for the specific job opportunity, go straight to the qualifications. Because if you don't meet the qualifications at all, like if it's asking for like 3 to 5 years and you have like 0 to 1, don't bother. Like, don't waste your time. Like, you might be able to squeeze into some circumstances, but if it's like clearly like no chance at all, don't waste your time. Move on to another job. The 2 main qualifications that people are going to be looking for is 1, education. If you have like a degree in a field, if you don't have that degree, it's going to be difficult to get it. It might be possible in some circumstances, yes, but most situations they're not even going to look at you. So there's the education, and the second one they look for, which we kind of mentioned, is job experience. So unfortunately, as I looked around, some entry-level jobs don't even require they require like 1 to 2 years. Unfortunately, that's not entry level in my mind. An entry level is like 0 years experience, train me. There are some jobs out there that are like that, but sometimes you have to be a little creative. Like maybe you could relate your some relatable courses in your education to that job. Maybe you have an internship, any type of work experience to kind of tailor it to what they're looking for. Now, 2 main words to look out for while you're looking at qualifications. This is really important, and while I was doing research, and the career center, job career center, whatever, they mentioned this to me. And the first word is required. The second word is preferred. Now, these are huge differences. It's kind of like and or at like a restaurant, like soup or salad or soup and salad. I look for the and because you get both. But relating to these 2 words, the first is required. Like a degree is required. If you don't have it, they don't care. Preferred, on the other hand, is they would like you to have that degree. It's not necessary. So you could technically still go for it if, like, let's say experience or a degree is preferred. So now that we're narrowing down, we got the field, now we have the job, right? So moving on to number 4, which is actually writing your resume. Now this thought I learned through research and again the Career Center, which like blew my mind and made me really frustrated. And of course it depends on the company, but I know for large companies, maybe some small, but there's an algorithm linked to their application process. What this means is that it goes through like a computer program and kind of picks and chooses words that they want to look for. So if they're looking for like 2 years experience, maybe like some type of degree, it goes through an algorithm. So no one even looks at it. It is a computer first, like the first time that it goes through. So if it can't make it through the algorithm, then it will never even see human eyes. Now this is very, very important because now you have to figure out how to structure your resume to get it through that algorithm, to get it to someone's eyes. And of course this is obnoxious, and which is why I wouldn't recommend generalizing your resume, because when it's more structured and tailored, the algorithm could pick out your resume. So while writing your resume, focus on one job. You have your job picked out, you meet the qualifications, fantastic. So now You have to tailor it to that one job. Use words and terminology that you use. Do not copy them, because that's bad. You can't like copy a whole thing that they have, but use the words. Maybe it has like certain type of experience, certain degree, just the terminology. Try to recreate it and reiterate it on your resume, because that algorithm is looking for those words. When your resume has those words, it picks it out. Now, a couple main things to focus on for your resume. Now, first, I like to have a summary in the beginning. You know, you have your header, you have your name, you have your personal information. By the way, make sure you have like your email address, phone number, address, and all that good stuff. Then I like to have a summary. It's kind of like an overview of your resume. If it does get to a person, I've heard like the average amount of time that a person looks at a resume is like 6 seconds. That's not long at all. So you have to grab them within like a handful of seconds. And if you don't, then it moves on, which is why I like to have a summary. It's quick overview. You have like, make sure you link your summary to the main qualifications they're looking for. If they're looking for a degree, say you got a degree. Looking for experience, say you got experience. And then just like an extra 1 to 2 sentences of like some other skills that you have, and just an overview of the person you are. Second thing to focus on for your resume structure is, now if you're a beginning, by the way, if like you don't have too much experience, just graduated, try to focus on like 1-page resume. Like that's it, no more. So try to put your more important experience toward the top and have it chronologically. So if like your last job that you had, put it closer to the top. The degree that you just graduated with, put it to the top. If you worked at McDonald's in high school, like I did, you put that toward the bottom because that's long ago and it doesn't necessarily relate directly to the job. Of course, you could structure the different experience that you have, different skills that you learned and all that stuff, but it's not directly related, so put that further down the page. And if you don't have enough room, or like your high school diploma, cut it from your resume. No one cares. If you graduated college, this might be an assumption, but if you graduated college, everyone's assuming you graduated high school as well. And the third thing to focus on the structure for your resume is called white space. Have a good amount of space throughout your resume. If it's just like a block of words, like a paragraph, it's not pleasing to the eye. So try to have like bullet points or like hyphens, kind of have it a little bit more structured, spaced out. Use like both sides, make sure like you're using full page, different spacing and everything. So just make it like bearable to look at. So now that we have our resume, the fifth thing we have to focus on is the cover letter. Even if they don't require a cover letter, write a cover letter. Most people do, and if they don't require it, it's just going to show that you're like more willing to go for that job. So a cover letter, like similar to the resume, similar structure, 1 page, same heading, name, all your personal information, and you're basically telling them why you relate to the job. So the first thing is, dear hiring manager. If you know the actual person's name, say dear John, I don't know. But after that name, use a colon, not a comma. I don't know why. Do not ask me why. Usually, like, why we use commas, colons, like 2 dots, that's a colon. So like, dear hiring manager, colon. Usually I thought a colon was for like listing something. This is the right way. I don't know why, but it is. Alright, so the cover letter is basically 3 main paragraphs. The introduction is very similar to your summary in your resume. Again, well, first introduce yourself. So you're like, hi, I'm Nick, and I'm going, you know, whatever. You could even mention the job you're going for, that you're interested in it. And relate back to the summary. Say that the degree that you have, the experience that you have, and the thesis, if you don't remember from English class, a thesis is the last sentence in the introduction. Just state 2 qualities, characteristics, skills that you have that that could be related to the job you're going for. So now the second paragraph, which is the body paragraph, you give examples of those two characteristics or skills or whatever. So you go into them, give examples, and relate those to the job you're going for. As you realize this theme of relating what you have to that job, like, think of it from their perspective. Why should they hire you? Kind of have that mindset while you go through it. So give them these examples of those characteristics. You know, state that you want to be a growing asset within their company and all that good stuff. I like using that terminology. Sounds good, right? And of course, the third paragraph or conclusion of the cover letter is thanking them for their time. You know, I don't know how they obviously don't look at these cover letters very long, but when they do, thank them for their time, their effort, and just, you know, energy. State that you're interested in learning more about the position and you hope to hear from them soon. And then at the bottom, sincerely, your name. What I like to do, I have sincere or something like that. I think I have sincerely, then I have like a script signature, like a different font, and then just my name under it. So if we get through all these hoops and obstacles, we would actually get called for an interview. Now sometime, or most of the time actually, you get a phone interview. So they just call you and kind of just ask you your background, get to know you a little bit to see if you actually match with what they're looking for. So while you do this, like you're looking for this job, you know, try to look at maybe the company a little, maybe the description or the responsibilities for that job. Just have a basic understanding. Not too detailed because you don't know if you're going to get called. And if you're going to be applying to a bunch of them, you know, you could do the research just to be prepared, but don't like write an essay on something and be prepared for a phone interview. So if they like you for the phone interview, they'll call you in for an actual interview. So on the phone, be happy and be nice. Ask questions. The question, like, we all have questions for the job. Like, you don't know what it is, so ask the questions that you want to know. It doesn't have to be anything like ridiculously intelligent or like fancy or anything. Just simple questions. And smile when you're talking because it actually translates from your smile through the phone and shows that like you're interested in it. Sounds a little weird. Trust me, it works. Now when you go into the actual interview, look nice. Don't bring sweatpants and like a tank top. Have a suit. Overdress. I don't care what they're wearing. I wore multiple times. I looked better than the person interviewing me, which made me feel great. But have a suit for the guys. Have like a tie, suit, slacks, dress pants. For girls, have skirt or whatever you guys wear. But look nice. Now this is the time when like they called you and you know you're having this interview. This is when you research more about everything. You research the company a bit, understand what they do, what you'll be doing for the job, research the job, like the description and responsibilities. You can research the salary. Depending on the company, they might ask you like what you're expecting. Sometimes they do not. That's a little bit later in the process, but have an understanding of what salary you're going for. And of course, the big one, questions. Come in with a bunch of questions. Ask what you'll be doing, like the training process, the growth, like is there room to grow within the company? That sounds good because you want to stay there for long term. Even if you don't want to stay long term, say that. Don't lie, by the way. Do not lie. You might be able to stretch some things out, but do not straight up lie. That's bad. Now, sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter of like your experience or, you know, anything like that, like your previous life. The interviewer is a person. You have to connect with them, be friendly with them. If they remember you, how you made them feel, that's what they remember. sometimes they don't remember what you say or even what you do. It's how you make them feel. So be friendly, compliment them or anything. Ask them like personal questions. If they, how long they've been there. Just anything that could just stand out from other people. So congratulations, you did all this work. You got your resume done. You got the interview. So now you're waiting. But as soon as you get home that evening, after the interview, send a thank you email to the person that either set up your interview, the manager that you spoke with, any email that you possibly have with these people. Send a thank you email. So thank you for your time and energy, sitting with me, answering questions. You hope to learn more about it, next step in the process. I hope to hear back from you soon. Nothing crazy, just stating or showing that you're interested. And of course, be prepared for that salary talk. No one likes talking about money. I do. So, get some ideas. Just straight up go into Google and type in, I don't know, electrical assistant. I don't know if that's a thing. But you type in whatever the job title is and salary in Google, and you see what's out there. Just get an idea of what's out there. Also Glassdoor, some positions have the actual amount, or at least an estimate. Sometimes the actual company's website or the Glassdoor linking to the company has either the job or similar jobs with those estimated salaries. So just getting a basic idea so you don't screw yourself with a lower salary. But also don't way overshoot it, because that's not going to look good on your part. And being willing to work as soon as possible. So hopefully this helped you out a bit, guys. There's a bunch of steps to go through this. Fortunately, this would have to be for every job that you go for, but you need to tailor that so it makes you more attractive and more relatable to the actual job they're looking for. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I might make other videos of going into specifics of these. I think there were 7 steps. So, again, if you have any ideas or concerns, let me know. So, good luck looking for those jobs in 2019, guys. I have faith in you. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.